For those of you that are a little confused with the French manual of the Duke propeller, VIP, not too hard. I've just got a little plate here with a hole in it, just a hole in the table or whatever, just to clear this thing. And of course the big holes right there is towards the engine. So I'm gonna put that down there. These can go either way. Maybe some older ones, that one end was shorter, but I think now they're all the same. So put those in, and then this guy, you know, goes down in there. Wiggle that down, and then we're gonna put 3 blades in. We might have to lift this out one at a time as we put the blades in. Let's put one in. All right, so the easiest is just pull all those standoffs out for now, and then put the paw of the blade in here, and then just rotate the blade down. So you might have to lift this carrier up and down, lift it up a little bit, put the blade in and rotate it. Get some help and do the other 2 blades. The key is actually to hold this carrier way up while you put the blades in and rotate them down, all 3 of them, and then bang. So if you had 3 people, 1 for each blade, it'll make it even easier. But I was able to do it myself, and they're in, and then I'm gonna put these in next. After that, just find out where the sticker is. It's over here, and then place this sticker over that sticker. And then, you know, of course you have to get all these things aligned with it. You can just wiggle it until they all go in, and then push it down. So when you do the wiggling part, you know, if you lift the blades up a little bit too as you do it, then it'll come down right there. And then there's a spring, a return spring. It's gonna go in here. And then this carbon fiber plate is gonna line up with these. So I'm just gonna drop some 3 temporary bolts in there. And then I'm gonna use my hand and force that down and get this nut started. All right, I pushed it down with both hands, and then I held it with one hand and I spun the nut on. Next, we're just gonna put the 6 screws all the way around, gradually tighten them up to 200 inch-pounds, and we're just gonna lift the blades and make sure everything stays all the way together as we do that. All right, so it's all together. We'll leave this just loose for now. These are tight, and I just sharpen the front of this, and just going to screw that in a little bit in the back, and then we're going to try it on the airplane and see what we need to trim off to get the right length, if any. Now, because we have a really long, well, not really long, but we have a prop spacer here. The original rod is not quite long enough to make it back to the dimple that it sits in back here. So between that and the spinner bulkhead and the prop and the length in here, we are going to add this little piece right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Loctite with blue Loctite that into here, so that, and then tighten it so that's permanently with the propeller, and then everything is back to the original with a female hole there, and we can start adjusting the rod. Okay. So now we have that glued into here, so that's all one assembly. Then we put the jam nut on the rod. We screw that in as far as possible, back it off this piece here, like one turn, and temporarily set the lock screw there. And we're going to be taking that in and out a few times until we get the length where we want it. So let me show how to do that. All right, so the rod is right there, and we've got the spacer and the spinner bulkhead, and now you can see that's as far as I can push it on. So I got to take off at least like a 1/4 inch at a time here, because the idea is I want to be about a 1/16 of an inch left, and then the rest I'm going to put all the prop bolts in, and I'm going to tighten the propeller towards the engine. And that'll flatten the blades just a tiny bit. But what it'll do is it'll keep a preload on this rod that goes through here. And we want a preload so it doesn't spin in the aluminum back here. So I'm looking at it right now. I'm holding it all the way up against the, and it's bottoming out on the rod. So we'll start by taking a 1/4 inch and try it again. Now, since I want, I want this down a little bit, and I want full engagement here. Obviously, you want full engagement as much as you can on everything. See it right there, then that locks there. That gives me just a tiny bit of adjustment here without ever running out of thread. So I'm not going to adjust it back here right now. I'm going to adjust it here. I might have to do some very fine adjusting here eventually, and as things wear I can do it back here, but for now I want to take a 1/4 inch off the front. Here it is. That's Loctited in there. This is screwed into here, and the jam nut is tightened. This is tightened against that. And now when we put it on, we should have a gap of like 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch, and we're going to use the prop bolts to push it the rest of the way in. The only thing that changes if you have more than like a 1/16 of an inch, the more you have, the more assured you is that there's always pressure on this rod and it's never going to spin in the back. But what you're doing also, you're moving the blades slightly towards fine pitch, so you won't get quite as much RPM, but it's minuscule. So what? If you reduce the range of travel a tiny bit, it doesn't make any difference. So, somewhere between a 1/16 and an 1/8 of an inch is perfect. By the way, if you're doing a baby turbo or any engine with this prop extension, which it's a 3-inch, and our Viking spinner, it's always going to be the same length of rod. So 7.5 inches is a good start, and that should be, the rest you can adjust back here. So with the point to the end of the rod, 7.5. Saves you some time.